Initially, I found it kind of a hard, gospel to read, especially in the beginning. And I don't know if I understood it completely, like when he's talking about his eyes to Jerusalem. And it was like, and I just didn't understand that. So I found that a bit puzzling and not very understandable. And the second half, I understood it better. And if anything, that would have given me more fear of the Lord, maybe, in the way that in the gospel here it says that, Jesus said, one disciple said, I'll go follow you, And then he said, well, but like the foxes that have no holes, the birds have, foxes have holes. And then, the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. And again, I found that kind of puzzling in the way of, and then yet I guess it's just that there's no, where is God, and how do you follow him, and where is the, where do you go with that? And maybe, that's where I would be, you get hesitant to follow Jesus in the, like to say, okay, I'm going to drop everything and go, because, you don't know where that would take you. So I think for me, there's a fear of the unknown, so that it would be, it would be hard for me to, if I would have been one of those people walking down the road and Jesus would have come to me, it would have been tough. And I think about that, you think about that, especially before, when the readings at Easter or before Easter, and you see, and like the disciples just dropped everything and went, and it was like, oh my, it would be too much for me, I think. And even like then it was like the other one, it was like, follow me, but I have to bury my father. It would be the same. For me to leave my family, to go completely to Jesus would be hard, especially with the fullness of it. And I would think the other way, a couple of ways I was thinking about this, and that was when I married Grant, then you have to leave your family to go, to be one with your husband. And that took a lot of growing for me to say, okay, I'm not going to be responsible only to my parents or to my family. I have to be responsible to my new family, like, my family, my husband, myself, my children. And that took a lot of growing and a lot of frustration, maybe, and thinking about and letting go, and maybe a little bit of hurt to sadness when I know, and I would follow Grant and my family, but then there would always be maybe that little bit of guilt, that little bit of sadness that my family, I had to leave them and do what I have to, which was right. So for those reasons, you're supposed to follow Jesus. Well, and then I guess I get my weaknesses too. Well, if I'm going to follow Jesus, I have to be really good and really nice and forgiving and really be very mindful of your sins, really. And so it's kind of like, well, if I don't jump in completely to Jesus or to God, well, then I can still be a little bit slack. And if I sin, it's not so, like I'm not committed completely. If that whole commitment becomes, when you read it like that, it kind of slaps you in the face and says, well, where are you in it? And what are you going to do? Yeah, and so I always feel a little bit uncomfortable when this isn't really the only reading, but there's quite a few like that. And Jesus says, you come and, you drop and you follow me. And it's like, wow, really? Yeah, like, and it says like, say goodbye to your home, farewell to your home. And it's like, that's hard to do. And wherever that home or whatever it would be.